Hey everybody, welcome to episode 40 of the Joys of Games podcast. This is Thursday, December 1st, 2016. This is our etc. week. We took a couple weeks off because of vacation, because of a little thing called Thanksgiving, because Colin was busy working, even though he said he wasn't going to be working. Regardless, it's been a couple weeks, Colin.
Yeah, it has. Oh boy, it has.
But we're back.
Yeah.
I am one of your hosts, Josh Brown. I am joined, of course, by the man who gave in to peer pressure, who couldn't say no to his boss when it came down to it. He talks a mean game. He does not walk the walk after talking the talk. Colin Wheeler.
You know, it's one of those awkward conversations they have. You're like, "Hey, I'm not going to work on Thanksgiving, the busiest day of the year." And then my boss is like, "Well, you may not be working at all if you don't come in on the busiest day of the year." And I'm like, "Oh,
Now, for roughly 363 days, Colin, you have been saying, I am not working Thanksgiving. I'm not working Black Friday. I'm going to tell my boss what is up. I'm done with this. It is too much. I've put in too much time and effort into this company. I deserve a break. I'm not going to do it. I don't care what he says. I'm not going to do it."
Yeah." So that was the hope, and honestly, that also came from last year. I was working overnights.
Yeah, that's true.
And that was more so what I meant. I'm not doing the overnights. I'm not, and that kind of went into a tangent of I'm not working Thanksgiving and Black Friday, even though in my head I'm like, I'm definitely going to work those days, but I'm definitely not doing overnights. And they asked me to do overnights, and I said no, and I'm not doing them. So there's a little win there.
So you feel like you negotiated and got the best deal that you possibly could have.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, fair enough. I mean, you're a company man through and through, regardless of what you say. You you bleed the gold and blue, and
Ugh, God, no. So I will say that this year is by far, at least in my store, by far the most organized year we've had before. I've worked there many years, and the only thing that sucked was the night before Thanksgiving, we have to change all the prices to the Black Friday prices, right? Unfortunately, our printer decided to stop working.
Perfect time.
And perfect timing. And as you might imagine, we call them and they're like, "Oh yeah, we can't get a repair person out there. It's Thanksgiving." We're like, "Yeah, we kind of figured that."
But we're
So
here,
I go,
so
I was like, "Well, half the store still needs to be priced." So I go to not my boss, but my boss's boss's boss, and I'm like, "Well, the printer's broken. What do you want me to do?" And he's like, "Scan everything and handwrite all the prices."
oh sure.
I'm like, all right. So I'm like, we're gonna look like a garage sale. All right.
Doesn't matter. People are just gonna be grabbing stuff and
Oh yeah.
running out as quickly as possible.
Yeah, sure enough. Luckily I have pretty good handwriting, so
Sure.
people could see the prices. Some of my coworkers not so much. So
I wonder if
it
they
could be.
sold better because it was handwritten. Like, it made it feel like it was like super sale. Like, these prices are so crazy, we can't even legally print them off.
I don't know. Maybe
You know?
I'd have to interview all the many people that came in.
Sure. You should have done like exit polls.
Oh, that would have been awesome. I
Yeah.
would love to do that. We actually had an employee whose role for the entire night was to hold balloons that said that line ends here or starts here.
Ah, yes.
It's one or the other. So he had a fun time just standing there all day, like
Sure.
having. I think it's one of the most infuriating things to be in a line and have every single person walk up to you and cut in front of you for 8 hours straight. That's like straight up purgatory.
To never
what I mean?
like advance in the line.
Right.
Yeah, yeah.
Never advance in line. Like, yeah, he's getting paid to do it, but like still
Sure.
it's like it's that whole that story of the man rolling the boulder up the hill only for the boulder to come down.
Right. Conversely, it reminds me of a funny story. E3, when we went down there, went to Disneyland, we were in the Peter Pan ride, and there was a Disneyland employee, a couple people in front of us, in line at Peter Pan, which was like a 45-50 minute wait. Like, everybody likes to go on Peter Pan. And his job, like, he was one of the street sweepers, I guess you could call, with like the dustpan and the broom, just walks around cleaning stuff up around Disneyland.
Mm-hmm.
All his job was just to stand in the line and clean up the line as he went along. And I'm like, this dude's about to waste almost an hour of his life sweeping like 3-inch sections of sidewalk at a time as this line progresses. And then once he gets there, he can't even go on the ride. Like, he has to start over again. Like, this is the most bizarre thing ever. But he didn't care. I mean, he's getting paid to stand in a line at Disneyland. So
that's the thing is I've heard from many people that Disney is a wonderful company to work for, regardless of what you are doing. So honestly, like, that sounds way better than what I'm doing. If I could work for Disneyland, heck yeah, I'd be doing that instead.
Sure. Yeah, I'll be a line sweeper at Disneyland.
Why not?
I had a Best Buy experience on Black Friday.
Oh, I'm sure it was wonderful, like everyone's experience.
Well, it was later in the morning. Like, it was like midday, okay? So it wasn't like we got up super early to get anything.
Was this on Friday or on Thanksgiving?
This was Black Friday. Like,
okay, so actually Friday.
Friday, yeah.
It gets confusing because people will say Black Friday when they actually mean Thursday, but they don't realize that they're...
Well, because they don't want to admit that they're actually going out on Thanksgiving afternoon to go shopping.
Right.
Because once you start admitting that to yourself, like, you're a couple steps away from rock bottom. So, no, this was Friday. This was like noon. Okay. We had no reason to go out. It was like, let's go get some coffee. I want to run to Target because...
Whoa. Let's go get some coffee? Who are you?
So
what has these 2 weeks done to you?
Look, Colin, I drank a lot of Starbucks when I was
I need you
away.
to wait. I need you to back up.
Okay, sure.
Pause what you're doing.
Black Friday.
When did this change happen?
What?
No. When did this coffee change happen?
Okay, so I still don't like coffee. You following still?
I guess.
Okay, yeah. I still don't like coffee. I don't like the taste of it. So if you could drown out the taste of coffee, I'm decently okay with it. And if Val's going to be going to Starbucks anyway, I might as well get something,
Sure.
Salted caramel fraps, man. Those are my jam.
Dude, they're super good.
Yeah,
did you try the pepper white mocha yet?
I just saw a commercial for it, and I looked at Val. I was like, I need to try that. And she was like, you're so gross.
No, it's so good. Trust me, she is 100% wrong. She won't listen to this. Val, you're 100% wrong. Right. It's delicious.
Yeah. I mean, because like the mocha is like coffee and like hot chocolate, right?
Dude, imagine having like white chocolate coffee with a hint of peppermint.
Okay.
That's what it is.
Like I had a PSL last month, and that was pretty groovy. So
yeah.
I dug that, and that was probably more coffee than the peppermint mocha is going to be. So
yes.
But yeah, the salted caramel fraps, man, that's what it's all about. Anyway, so had lots of those on the vacation to California. So it's pretty much a thing now.
Yeah.
I kept trying like her regular coffee. I'm just like, nope, it's too bitter. I don't like the taste. It's just gross.
You'll get there one day.
Well, probably not. But
because that's how when I started drinking coffee, that's what I would do. I'd get like a white mocha with like 4 shots.
Mm-hmm.
And then I realized, holy crap, this is a $5 drink. I'm not going to do this anymore.
Sure, it gets expensive.
Yep. So then I weaned myself down to just like coffee with cream and sugar. And then I got rid of the cream and just had the sugar. And now I just drink it black.
But see, at that point, then I'm just like, I'm just going to grab an energy drink for like $1.25 and call it good.
Yeah, but coffee is so much better for you than energy drinks.
Is it?
It is.
I don't know about that.
It is.
It's yet to be proven. I don't have cancer
well,
yet.
science does prove it.
Well,
so
I mean, global warming isn't a thing either, Colin, according to our government.
China made it up. My bad.
You can't tell me otherwise, sir.
Oh, you.
So anyway, so I was like, let's go get some coffee. It's Friday. We didn't have any kids. I was like, I want to go to Target. Finding Dory Blu-ray, $10. That's a heck of a deal. And like each Target had like 600 copies roughly.
Nice.
So I figured by noon there should probably still be one or two of them.
Mm-hmm.
And it was launch day. No, it wasn't launch day. It was a week after, but because we were in Disneyland, I didn't get any of the Lego Dimensions from Wave 7. So I waited a week because there was going to be sales on Black Friday. So I was just like, let's just go out, you know?
Yeah.
We're not looking for like doorbusters. We're not trying to get big flat screen TVs and the hottest whatever that's available. Just go see what's going on. So, long story short, made our way into Best Buy because Best Buy was having a sale on Lego Dimensions. The Fantastic Beasts story packs were down to $30. I don't remember what else specifically, but I was definitely looking for that, right? Because we had seen Fantastic Beasts the day before Thanksgiving.
So good.
So I was pretty jazzed about the whole thing. So
Dude, that Niffler, so cute.
Yeah.
So cute. I want to get that flocked pop figure.
Is there a flocked one?
Yeah.
Oh goodness. Where's it exclusive to?
I want to say it's Hot Topic, so it shouldn't be hard.
Why? Why would you say that?
I mean, you're gonna have to get it. That's why.
But I don't want to go into Hot Topic. I want to go into GameStop more than I want to go into Hot Topic.
Here's the thing. Hot Topic, the employees are usually really nice there. It's super cramped, which sucks, but at least you actually get greeted. Versus GameStop, it's like there's 1,000 people in the store and one employee working.
It's true. That's true. So anyway, Best Buy. Looking for the Lego Dimension Story Pack, $30.
Mm-hmm.
Fantastic Beasts. I know it's Black Friday. There's a line from like the registers all the way to the back of the store. Just take a guess at which Best Buy we wound up at.
Oh, I'm sure it's Jansen.
Yes.
I keep telling you to stop going there.
Okay. When they build a Toys R Us next to the other Best Buy, then I'll go to the other Best Buy.
Well, that's not going to happen.
Well, it needs to. Because I said so.
Dream a dream. Dream a little dream.
So, there's a super line, because of course there's a line. And, tons of people. It's just crowded. I expected it to be crowded.
Mm-hmm.
Go back to the Toys to Life section, because that's where I'm looking to purchase stuff from. And Val and I both know what's about to happen, because she's gone with me to many of release days and have been disappointed by the lack of them putting out new stuff. And granted, this was like a week later, but still, it's still new stuff, and they're really bad about that there. So we walk into the aisle, and it's just like, year one. Oh, there's like 3 Skylanders. Yeah, nothing new for Lego Dimensions out. No tags, no pegs. It's not like people had came in and like bought all of like the newest wave. Like there was like no visible place for them to even be out on the shelf yet. Right?
Mm-hmm.
I know this doesn't surprise you at all.
No, not at all.
And it doesn't me either. Like, if this was launch day, wouldn't be surprised. But it's like a week later, I'm like, maybe you guys should put out the new stuff. Just a thought. I don't know. So I finally tracked down this guy. And this guy's like 6'8". This big old dude. Probably played football in high school. Probably just graduated. Probably his first job. He didn't care at all. And I'm like, yo, I'm looking for some new Lego Dimensions stuff that came out last week. He's like, what are you looking for? So I told him what I was looking for. He's like, He just stood there looking at me. Yeah, did you check the aisle where they sell Lego Dimensions? And I was like, yeah, I did. I just came from there. He's like, yeah, that's where it would be. And granted, we're several sections over now. Like, we're like the controllers for Xbox and PlayStation, and he's like, that's where you're gonna find it if we have any left. I'm like, well, it's not there. Could you check to see if you guys would have it? And like Val at this point, she's just like super annoyed. She's like, look, every time we come in, when something new comes out, you guys never have it out on shelf, and someone always has to go in the back. They always find it in a box, and it takes like 20 minutes, but it's always in the back because this store particularly never puts stuff on the shelf when it comes out. And he's like, huh. Yeah, it's Black Friday, so everybody's just buying out the store, so yeah, if you don't see it on the shelf back there, it's gone, man. I'm like, no, I don't think that's the case, my friend. I don't think people are rushing in on Black Friday to wipe out your Lego Dimensions section. Like, granted, there were some sales, but I am pretty in touch with the Toys to Life community and know that it's probably not why everybody is lined up throughout the entire store here. So he was like, yeah, I don't know what to tell you. It's Black Friday. I'm just assuming that everything is gone. He didn't go over to a computer and look to see if they had inventory. He didn't radio anybody. He didn't like even turn around to look at the door that led to the back room to see if maybe he could glare through it and see an empty box and possibly say that they're all sold out. He's just like, no, I'm not helping you. Like, that was it. That was the customer service experience I got.
I mean,
I know it's Black Friday. I know the busy. I know nobody wants to do anything.
The other thing, too, the other factor of that as well is the inventory system that is in place does not update fast enough. And I'm sure they were in the back, like you said. I'm sure. But, like, in his mind, he doesn't know any different. So what's being communicated all day long is inventory is wrong, inventory is wrong, inventory is wrong. So don't look up anything on the computer. If it's not out there, we don't have it. Like, that's basically how it was. But the one thing I will say is, you said you went in around noon. That's kind of like when things quote unquote die down. Like, it's not as insane as when it first opens. So yeah, he probably could have looked it up and figured it out, but I don't know. I keep telling you to stop going to that store, and you keep doing it.
I know. And
you're glutton for punishment. You know what you need to do, Josh?
Yeah.
This is what everyone should do. Everyone listening online, out there in the internet worlds. Mm-hmm. For the people that have bad experiences with Best Buy, but want the prices and want the deals, just buy it online. Go in the store and pick it up. You don't have to do. They'll do the shopping for you.
Colin.
Yes.
That seems too easy.
I'm just saying that's what you kind of have to do. That's what I do with every other store, and sometimes even with the store that I work at, because that's just the way it works. Robots are better than humans.
You know, I wish I had an argument for that, but I don't think I do at this point.
You don't.
No.
It's 2016. You don't.
No, that's true. So yeah.
Did you end up getting the stuff?
Oh no, not from Best Buy.
No, not at Best Buy, but just in general.
No, I went to GameStop.
There's some irony right there.
Okay, you want to hear the GameStop story?
Yeah, please.
Okay. So we decided to go to GameStop in the mall.
Oh, good plan, buddy.
It's right by our house.
Yeah, I know it is.
And where the GameStop is located in the mall, it's right next to a parking lot. Like, I just go in the door of the mall, jump across the sky bridge, and I'm right into the GameStop. So very minimal exploration throughout the mall needed to get to the GameStop. Regardless, when did GameStop turn into pop culture catch-all for everything collectible?
When digital sales make up 30% of the market now, and they need to sell things that have margin in them.
Okay, well, the store was a mess, right?
Yeah.
It was jam-packed with people, naturally. Mm-hmm. And because they have so much stuff in that store, it makes it feel like there's absolutely no room to breathe. Also, it's a mall store, so it's already much smaller than it deserves to be.
That's the one thing is I'll say GameStops are turning into Hot Topics, where they just have so much crap. Like, everywhere.
That just
Like
happened to
it's
sell like 4 or
hard.
5 video games as well.
Yeah, like dude, it's really weird walking into now. Like you were saying, like you go in, there's like depending on which one you go to, but there's like either a VR setup in one area, and then there's statues and pop figures and all sorts of memorabilia, T-shirts, posters,
Mm-hmm.
and then like the sections for Xbox games or for PS4 games and Nintendo games are small. Like they are the smallest I've ever
Yeah.
seen. It's
You have
super
to
weird.
ask to find where the games are.
Well, that's kind of ridiculous considering how small it is, but yeah, sure.
Well, it's
Hey,
because they're just hidden behind everything else, man.
thanks for calling GameStop, where you sell barely any games. How can I help you? I'm
But
gonna
we'll take
order you
all of
unicorn
your
coffee.
games. I don't know what they're doing with them, but so we walked in and I'm navigating and I get to the now at this point I I am relying strictly on the information given to me by my Toys for Games co-host Jason Greer, who said Best Buy and GameStop were the only two retailers selling the story pack for Fantastic Beasts for $30 on Black Friday. So I went in armed with that knowledge and nothing else.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm walking around. I find the Lego Dimensions. I find the story pack, and it's marked at $49.99. No sales tag, no nothing. I'm like, getting a little nervous here. So I find a flyer, because they had plentiful Black Friday flyers around. Grab one, flip to the Lego Dimensions. Doesn't see it anywhere in the flyer. Okay. Hey, I found an employee. I'm going to go ask this employee who's walking around the store, checking stuff out, helping customers as they shop and try to navigate the disaster that is GameStop. Found her, asked her. She's like, I don't know about that. And she walked over and grabbed the flyer, the same flyer I was just looking at.
Mm-hmm.
And she flips through it. She was like, yeah, I don't see it in here. It's probably not for sale. I'm like, well, I kind of think it is. Is there a way for you to check? Like, scan it in or something to see if it comes up as a sales price? I don't, I'm gonna have to get a manager for that. Finally tracked down a manager in the cesspool of humanity, and she comes over and I'm like, hey, I think this is on sale. We haven't been able to find it in the flyer, but I'm pretty sure it's on sale today. Oh yeah, no, that's not on sale. I personally hand marked and hand priced all of these items, especially that one. I know for sure it's not on sale. Yeah, I know that you put the stickers on these, but can we just check to see if it's on sale? Because I really think it is. She's like, yeah, okay. So she pulls out her iPad and she goes to GameStop.com and she pulls up the Fantastic Beasts story pack, and right there online, $29.99. She's like, well, I guess it is on sale. Okay, so I was like, thank you. Will this scan at the register at the sale price, or are we going to have to go through this again once I get up to the register? She's like, yeah, I don't know. Go try it. And then if it doesn't, then have somebody come find me and we'll do an override. I'm like, oh God. So I'm in line of like 10 people crammed in this little S-shaped line in the middle of a GameStop, and finally get up there and like he rings it up, $29.99. I'm like, oh thank goodness. And then he's like, oh yeah, by the way, and he pulls out a Green Arrow fun pack and he's like, you get this for free also. Yes. Score.
Man, I still want one of those things. I couldn't go out on Black Friday.
So
you're like the most difficult customer ever on Black Friday, is what you're saying.
I just wanted one thing, Colin. Just one thing.
You sound pretty difficult.
Yeah, I know. I mean,
so needy, man.
I'm super needy. I'm sorry.
You need to think about acting more like a robot.
I should. That's my fault. Let's talk about some things.
Okay.
Tonight was a big night for the video game industry.
Yeah.
It was the culmination of a year's worth of video games and video game releases and video game news and video game entertainment. It is the 2016 the Game Awards.
That's right.
Okay, the name. I feel like there should be Video Game Award because
Sure.
it's not like they're including board games into any of these categories.
Well, I also thought it was just called Game Awards, but it's called the Game Awards.
TGAs, man.
Yeah.
You can't just say the GAs.
I mean, I could, and I did on Twitter several times till I realized, oh, well, I'm gone this far.
But you're also saying the GA, so it's like, why don't you just capitalize that H? Make it official.
Yeah.
Yeah. The Game Awards happened tonight.
Mm-hmm.
You watched it. I caught like half, maybe a little bit more than that. You want to give like a rundown of what happened here?
Yeah, so I mean, it opened up with, well, it was actually the pre-show. They had a brief Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild like teaser trailer, and it kind of just showed more of the same that we've seen, except for one new thing, and that was clearly a woman figure that was dressed in Link's tunic with long hair.
I saw that.
So that makes me think that you are going to be able to choose between a female or male Link, which has been long rumored for a while.
Mm-hmm.
That would be awesome.
Definitely.
Super awesome. I hope it's true.
Yeah.
And then after that, Kojima came out and got his Industry Icon award that he was not able to get last year because he was under a no-compete clause with Konami. And then he showed a new Death Stranding trailer, which is super bizarre. It has Guillermo del Toro in it, holding what looks like a baby inside of a tank, and turns on the baby, and it's a glowing baby. I have no idea what's going on. Kojima takes all the drugs.
Glowing baby.
Glowing baby in a jar.
Sure.
And then it moves on to the guy from Hannibal with a bunch of army guys connected to tentacles.
The movie or the show?
The show.
Okay.
So the guy that's in Rogue One as well. I can never remember. He's the bad guy in Doctor Strange.
Yeah. I just got really excited that Anthony Hopkins was in it.
Oh, that'd be so cool. So should you watch Westworld yet?
No.
Oh, it's okay.
You know, I waited like 5 seasons to get on Game of Thrones, so I got time.
Yeah, you do. Plus, it's going to be the next season's not out for another 2 years anyway. So
2 years?
Yeah, they're saying it's going to be 2018 when it actually premieres.
Oh, I have plenty of time.
Yes, you do.
I don't need to be a part of the conversation that bad.
Yeah. So, So then he was in the tunnel with tentacles, and he had a disappearing helmet. And I don't, Kojima. I don't. Like I said, he does all the drugs, so not a clue. If you haven't watched it, watch it. It's really weird, but it looks really, really intriguing. And I think that's kind of what they're going for.
Sure. Did they give a release date?
Never. It's never coming out. It's coming out for your PS5s or your PSVR 2 hooked up to your PS5s. So that's probably when it's coming out. I don't know. Really weird. And then we had the Telltale Guardians of the Galaxy series get announced.
Yeah, I saw that press release.
I don't know, man. I'm burnt out on Telltale games. Like, I'm not excited about this stuff anymore. I thought it was going to be for Batman, and then when Batman came out, it's just like, eh.
I just played the first episode of the Batman Telltale. The other night.
Did you like it?
I did. It's telling an interesting Batman story.
That's cool.
And here's how I look at him now. Each episode of the Telltale games is like 2 hours, right? Hour and a half, 2 hours.
Yeah.
I watch a lot of crappy movies on Netflix and Amazon Prime late at night because we don't have cable, so I just stream all this kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And I mostly put it on the background when I'm working or just when I'm just zoning out for a few hours because I don't sleep. The Telltale episodes are better than 75% of the movies I end up watching in the middle of the night anyway. With minimal button pushing, so...
Sure. I don't want to disparage it saying they're bad games. I just feel like there's a new one announced every month at this point.
Sure.
So whenever there's like a new one, I'm like, oh, okay, there's another one. And when I do sit down and play those games, they're fun. Episode 1 of the Minecraft one was free on iPhone, so I was playing that with my son, and it was a lot of fun, and it was really well done. The writing was really clever. Like, they're good games. It's just there's just so many of them, and I just have such a hard time being excited about, I guess, point and click adventures. I guess for me, like if Telltale Games, which I'm assuming they will come out for the Nintendo Switch, I feel like that'll be the perfect place for me to play that, because I can play it in bed with comfortable controllers and it'll look really nice. But like, if I want to sit down, when I do have time, if I want to sit down and play a game on my TV in my living room, I'm going to choose something like Final Fantasy or Doom, something a little bit meatier.
Sure, that makes sense.
So,
yeah, I definitely am not rushing to play Telltale games anymore. But like playing the Batman one like reminded me how much I did like the storytelling. They have superb storytelling and voice acting and whatnot. So I'm like, I need to go back. I need to finish Michonne 3-part series. I need to finish the Game of Thrones series. I might start the Borderlands series. Maybe. I really don't care about that universe at all, but it came in a bundle and I downloaded it, so I feel obligated because it's an easy platinum trophy. So it's like,
I've heard it's really good, though,
I know, me too, but I didn't like Borderlands games. So
I have The Wolf Among Us downloaded and both Walking Deads, and I've yet to play those.
You need to play The Wolf Among Us.
Yeah, I know.
As a comic book guy,
I need to play a lot of games.
Yeah, that's true.
And now to the most important thing that happened.
Walking Dead Season 3 Telltale game.
No, that's not the most important thing. Obviously, it's the Hydro Razor Robot Man.
I've heard about this.
It was amazing. This super awkward co-host guy with every bad joke and just nothing landing decided to present this robot man with giant razor face, and they kept showing him in his video game over and over again, and it was just, oof, man, it got me hyped.
Yeah, well,
that's hyped to shave.
That's what it was supposed to do.
He did it. Good job.
Product placement.
You'll be able to see him in the upcoming Star Wars Rogue One in the background. You just gotta look really close. It's a cameo. Yeah. So that was pretty much it. Nothing else happened.
That was the entire war show, huh?
Yeah.
Huh.
As a weird Jar Baby and Guardians of the Galaxy and Razor Man. That's it.
And Zelda trailer. We saw Reggie on stage.
Oh, that was awesome.
Come on. It was good seeing Reggie on the stage.
Yeah, and I want to say, like, I'm super excited that Doom got Best Action Game because Doom is so good. I'm excited that that Dragon Cancer got Games for Impact. I was crying as the father of... You know the story of that game, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and for people that there don't know, like, they basically developed a game around their son who had cancer and unfortunately passed away. So it's too much of a game for me to play. I can't handle it. I just can't.
Experience.
Even hearing about the documentary trailer made me cry, and then his acceptance speech made me cry, and I'm like, I can't
cry just thinking about it.
Yeah, as a father, I can't.
As a human, like with a good soul, like
that's true as well. Yeah. Trending Gamer went to Boogie2988, which he is. We were talking about this before we started recording. I wanted Daniel Dwyer to win, but I'm actually glad that Boogie did win because he is someone who promotes positive outlooks in the games industry while still being critical, but never being like belittling.
Yeah.
And obviously he got his fame from his Francis character, which is the exact opposite. Like, it is a satire of like the internet nerds that are just on the keyboard, just trolling people all day.
The egg profiles on Twitter.
Yeah, and he has dealt with a lot of physical and mental issues for many years, and the fact that he can be so open and honest with his audience makes him like I think an amazing part of the games industry, at least on the media side. So really props to him for winning that.
Yeah, and like you and I are both fans of Daniel Dwyer, but like I think I remember hearing Danny saying that like he wanted Boogie to win it because like he knows how much it would mean to him. Like Danny is a super humble dude. Like he would have been absolutely honored to get the award, but um everything I know of Danny O'Dwyer, he's just like, no, give it to somebody who like needs this more than I do, you know.
Right.
So
Yeah. So good for Boogie.
mhm.
And then Cliffy B went on to talk about something. I don't know. He said words.
Yeah,
It's
I see him and I see his mouth moving. And I'm like, I'm not even listening to you right now. Like nothing that guy says has any substance at all.
I don't think it's that. He just said everything so fast. Like he was basically like talking like programming code, and I was like, what do you say? Fast,
Yeah,
frantic shooter, looking for the gravity balls and blah 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 blah. I'm like, what?
just stop.
Doom won Best Music, which if you've listened to the Doom soundtrack by Mick Gordon, it is the perfect like dumb hair metal music that's so appropriate for that game. So his actual musical performance was the only musical performance that I thought was appropriate for the entire night. I have no idea why they chose, like, I like hip hop, I do, but I have no idea why they're choosing these random hip hop artists that are on the radio versus like someone like Mega Ran or you know someone more relevant to the audience that's watching this.
Because unfortunately, even though it's a show for the people by the people, like it still needs the mainstream recognition,
Yeah, but
mainstream advertising to make it happen the way it does.
I don't think anybody is going to tune in. Any average Joe is going to tune into the Game Awards so they can watch.
No, but
I don't even know what their names are.
no, but
Like,
other sponsors see them and they know that they're on the radio and they know that they're a big hit on the internet.
oh, I see what you
So
mean.
then sponsors would be like, yes, we will give you X amount of dollars to be a part of this because those people are going to be there and they're bringing in another audience that we want to reach out to in some way, shape, or form. Big sponsors aren't coming and be like, oh, Mega Ran, here's a briefcase full of money because we're going to do big things with this guy. Unfortunately, that's not the way it works. You and I know how awesome Mega Ran is, and we know that he would have lit that entire audience on fire. And everybody out there watching on the internet would have loved a Mega Ran performance. But big money America doesn't see it that way.
I don't know. I just felt like years prior, like they had, and it was a little weird, but they had Imagine Dragons with Koji Kondo.
Sure.
Like I thought that was really cool and like a really interesting attempt, and them. I guess it makes more sense.
But Imagine Dragons was also big that year too. Like
that's true.
They
and
were
what
top
I'm
Billboard artist.
What I'm saying is the other artists that were there, like they did not seem like they gave a crap about video games. Like they were just like, oh yeah, here you go for the gamers, blah blah blah, and that's fine. Like you know, they're paid to do that, and I don't want to disparage anyone for not playing games, but at the Game Awards, like I feel like we should have the people who made the music from games.
No,
like,
I understand, but they're speaking to an audience they're trying to market to. They're not speaking to an audience that made it happen in the first place. We're still going to watch it regardless. They want the other people that wouldn't normally be watching it. I completely understand your point. I am not arguing that what you're saying is valid, but realistically, you and I both know why it happens the way it does.
I just hope it gets better. That's my main thing. Is like I think it would even be cool if, you know, like Gears of War had a really good trailer with the Sound of Silence, the Disturbed cover.
Mm-hmm.
I thought that would have been cool if they performed. Like, you know, that'd be probably way more expensive than what they got, but like something like that where it has some kind of tie to video games, I think would be more appropriate with getting mainstream in. But moving on. Nolan North won Best Performance, deservedly so, in Uncharted 4.
I think I forgot what Nolan North looked like.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because I saw him up there. I'm like, I don't think you are the person I think you are. Like, I could pick Troy Baker out of a lineup out of 1,000 people easily. Yeah. I looked at Nolan North and I'm like, I think in my head, I see him as Joel from uh
Last of Us?
Last of Us.
Interesting.
I don't know why. Which is weird because he's most known for Nathan Drake.
Yeah, and he looks like a shorter version of Nathan Drake.
Yes, but in my head, I'm just like, you're not the guy that I think you are. I don't know. So weird.
Yeah, I mean, I could see that. Like, I don't think Joel looks anything like Troy Baker either. And Nolan North was in The Last of Us. He was like a bad guy, wasn't he?
Who? Troy Baker?
No, Nolan North.
Wait. Was
Troy
Troy Baker
Baker
Joel?
Yeah, Troy Baker was Joel.
Are you sure?
Yeah, 100% sure.
Man, maybe I am really confused.
Yeah, and then Ashley Johnson was Ellie, and then Nolan North was the bad guy.
Brother.
No,
the friend.
bad guy in the winter scene.
Yeah,
where he's like yeah, he's like the crazy guy in the winter sequence. I'm pretty sure.
I thought he was the friend that helped them get the truck started.
No, I don't think so.
I don't think either one of us really knows what's going on right now.
Well, one of us
Troy
does.
Baker was totally Joel.
Yes. And Troy Baker was the brother in Uncharted 4.
Nolan North was... Okay, maybe that's where I'm getting confused. Naughty Dog, man.
They make great games.
Okay, he was David.
Which I thought... I'm pretty sure he was the bad guy, the crazy person in the winter sequence. Like,
maybe.
that was like torturing or something. I briefly remember that in that game.
Let's see. Ooh, here we go. Wikipedia. David was a character that appeared in The Last of Us. He was the leader of a group of survivors and acted as a primary antagonist for Ellie in Chapter 9, Lakeside Resort. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Colin was right.
Yeah. Hashtag Colin's right.
So, why I assume Nolan North looked like Joel from Last of Us, I can't tell you at all.
Brains are a funny thing.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
They showed a new trailer for Prey. Which, did you play the original Prey?
Nope.
So the original Prey was really, really cool when it came out. It was an early 360 game. You're basically a Native American guy that gets abducted by aliens.
This is probably when I stopped playing video games.
Oh, okay. It was really cool. I wish they would remaster the first one, honestly, just so I could play it again. But what made it interesting was like the first person shooter that had like verticality to it. Like there was games like Zelda where they like Twilight Princess where you had like the metal boots, or like Super Mario Galaxy where you're like upside down.
Mm-hmm.
But like Prey actually had it in shooter form, so it was really interesting and really unique. This one doesn't look anything like that first game.
Okay.
A lot of people are comparing it to basically Dishonored in space. It has like a BioShock feel to it, and it looks like you can possess objects and control them slightly. Like in the sequence they showed a character with a gun and then transporting, it looks like their soul or something into like a cup to get inside an area that they couldn't get inside before. So it's kind of like Geist meets BioShock meets Dishonored a little bit. In space.
Okay. In space, huh?
In space.
In space. That's
so
all
it
the
looks
rage in video games these days.
It looks really cool. It's made by the same guys that Dishonored, so yeah, I'm definitely I'm down to see that.
Sure.
And then they showed more Zelda, which they were like, we're gonna show a new area, and I was like, well, it doesn't really look that much different, but you know.
Oh, Bill Trinen.
It was cool, but I don't know. It was just more the same.
Just go away. Just drop it in March. That's
the only thing I'm curious about is just one dungeon. I just want to see a little. I just want to know that there's dungeons. Like that's the main thing, and I'm sure there are. But like, just for my sanity, I just want to make sure there's dungeons.
Just need to know.
Yep. Shovel Knight got another expansion. Yacht Club is just knocking out of the park with these things, man. Like they keep
eventually they're gonna have to move on to a new game, though, right?
You would think so. Like once they're done with all the different nights,
I
imagine they're gonna have like a big, like giant, like DLC game of the year style.
It's incredible that they've made one game into like this little mini franchise.
Yeah, it's really cool and
well done too.
Yeah, there's a lot of cameos as well.
Mm-hmm.
So
Valid
yeah.
points.
And then we had Halo Wars 2 get a new trailer, and they announced if you pre-order the oh shut up you pre-order
Call me
the
when a real Halo game like ODST gets announced.
that'll be next year, Halo 6. But when you pre-order the
Reach
digital
2.
deluxe edition of Halo Wars 2, you get the Halo Wars Definitive Edition, the first one, which I'm assuming is just a remaster of the first game. And those games are really fun. Like they're like it's the only RTS that I've played on a console that works. And this is also a Xbox Play Anywhere title, so you can play this on PC or on console, and it's got cross-play, cross-buy if you go digital.
If.
Yeah.
Big if.
So that was cool for me. I'm down. I'm excited.
Nobody cares about Halo Wars 2.
Well, I just said I did, so
Well,
you know.
yeah, it's true.
Then they showed the new Walking Dead, which you said earlier looks actually really cool. It's Clementine all grown up.
Super scary intro, like the tension was there, and it started to feel like, oh my god, they're showing this at like the beginning of the outbreak. Like we're going back in time. Because like all of them were confused by what was going on, it seemed like. You know?
Yeah.
Like it didn't seem like they had dealt with walkers before.
Right.
And that was very jarring. I'm like, oh. So I don't know if maybe that is the start and like it like jumps forward in time, but we did see Clementine at the end and I was like, yes, thank you for not abandoning her.
Yeah, I imagine the first episode will be like that new character's backstory, and the second episode will be what happened to Clementine between season 2 and the New Frontier, and then the rest of the episodes will be them together, basically.
Yeah.
After that, we saw a first gameplay look at Mass Effect Andromeda, which you did not play Mass Effect, yeah?
Not a single second.
What did you think? Did you watch the footage?
I glanced up every once in a while.
Okay, what did you
bored.
think of it? Oh, you're bored.
It looks pretty.
Okay.
It looks like a giant open world, a game that I'm never going to have time for. Too much story, not enough.
I got really excited just for the combat that they're doing. Like, okay. I don't feel like the game looks that much better than Mass Effect 3, but sure. Obviously I'd have to go back and look at that game. Like, it looks like another Mass Effect game, which is not a bad thing. I just hope that there's enough, like, the story is worth playing through.
Mm-hmm. What's different about the combat? I guess because I've never played, I didn't see, like, any big difference.
So, the other games, I typically didn't play, like, the all-magic class, but I don't ever remember there being an option to teleport kind of, like, all over the place like they were doing in the trailer.
Wait, there's classes?
Yes.
In
like,
Mass
there's...
Effect?
Yeah, so you
I thought it was a shooter.
No, it's an RPG with shooting elements.
I really don't know what Mass Effect is.
Yeah, it's an RPG with shooting elements. So like you can
magic?
play. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Are we talking about Mass Effect like the game in space?
Yes. Yes, definitely.
Seriously? We're not talking about like Fable or something?
Well, no, because that's, Fable's a different game.
Mass Effect has magic?
Yeah, it's magic. I don't remember what it's actually called, but it's magic.
Like,
the new trailer also had like, it looked like a boosting ability where you can kind of like boost to the side and boost up, kind of like Halo 5. So it kind of looks like they took Final Fantasy 15's like teleporting and Halo 5's boosting, while still looking and feeling like Mass Effect. So I thought that was really cool. I'm pretty excited for this game. People are saying it's going to come out in March. I really don't think it's going to come out until probably fall.
Because they didn't drop a release date at the end of the trailer.
No, they didn't.
Which I was kind of expecting, and because they didn't, I want to think that it's getting bumped.
Yeah, and also I think that some of these games are going to reappear at PSX, and we're going to get release dates maybe then. So. But they also had the new Mako, which is the little like Land Rover thing, and it looks really cool. It looks really fast because in the first game when you use that Mako thing, it was like a slog. Just driving that thing was so unsatisfying, and you had to drive in it just to get around planets.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm glad they're bringing it back and making it actually useful. So, but yeah, this, like I said, it looks more like Mass Effect, and this time the story is that you're trying to find a new home for humans. So
Sure. I mean, that's what I would probably do anyway.
yep.
Yeah.
And then the game of the year, we got Overwatch. Overwatch won game of the year,
Yeah.
which is it's a
Expected?
great, unexpected for me.
Really?
Yeah, I thought Doom was gonna win, but Doom or Titanfall, but I don't know why I thought those two might win.
Titanfall definitely wasn't winning it.
I'm surprised Titanfall didn't win anything. That surprised me. But yeah, Overwatch is great. It really is a great game. Like I've said it before, it's very approachable. It's very colorful. There's a lot of depth if you want to have depth, and it also like lets you play the way you want to play in a multiplayer game. So you can play against all bots,
Yeah.
or play with 2 humans and all bots, or all humans. Like it's really well done. So congrats on that.
Game of the year because they made a competitive shooter that people are still playing, that they have very little bad experiences with, that 90% of the community seems to be positive about everything Overwatch related.
Yeah.
Like it's just like you don't get like the Call of Duty community that like is very aggressive and abusive and pretty ugly. Like most multiplayer shooters. Blizzard figured out like how to do it and
I don't
make
know
it
how they keep doing that.
interesting and fun and build a positive community around a multiplayer game, which is almost impossible these days.
Yeah, no kidding.
So I think on that alone, it probably deserves Game of the Year. Does it have the best graphics? Is it the prettiest game? No. But for what it is and what it does and how much fun people have with it continuously over and over and still do, yeah, it makes sense.
Yeah.
Like Doom, great game. Exceptional game. Beyond what anybody thought Doom was going to be. But once you were done with it, like you were done.
That's true. The multiplayer, I haven't played any multiplayer, but
nobody has.
I've heard it's not good.
Yeah. And that's fine because Doom shouldn't be about multiplayer. But because of that, like I totally get picking Overwatch over it. So
the other thing I forgot to mention was that the what's it called? Bulletstorm remake.
Oh, you texted me this.
Is gonna have Duke Nukem as a playable character.
Sure. Let's do it.
Which is just so dumb and funny at the same time.
That's Bulletstorm. That's the perfect place for Duke Nukem.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then also forgot one more other thing. Inside won Best Art Direction and Best Independent Game, which I absolutely loved that game. You were lukewarm about the ending, but I thought it was fantastic. So I was really
95% of the game was phenomenal.
Yeah.
99% of the game. Just that last scene. It's just
See, I took it as something completely different than you did, and I think that's why the game is so good, is because it invokes conversation. So
yeah.
And thought.
Confusion.
You know what's weird though? The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt Blood and Wine won Best RPG.
I thought that was weird too.
What?
It just means it was a bad year for RPGs.
I guess, like,
I mean, give it to Skyrim remastered.
Yeah, it's true. It's just the same. It's no different. If Final Fantasy had come out earlier, I think they would have given it to that.
Probably.
Yeah. But well. Whatevs.
Overall, it was a show.
Yeah, it was a show. Could
have been worse, but could have been better.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Nothing, no big, huge surprises, no huge, giant announcements. Big shout out to my Twitter friend Jeff Keighley for putting this thing on year in and year out. So, yeah,
Your Twitter friend?
he follows me.
He follows you?
Yeah,
Really?
my
Interesting.
personal one, not Toys for Games.
Oh, that's right. You told me
Yeah,
about that. It's
yeah,
so weird.
super weird, dude. Super
You should
weird.
you should give him personal shout out because he follows you. Be like, hey
Ah,
man, good job. I really like that Razor man, that Razor robot man.
yeah. I'm sure he's inundated tonight with a few messages here and there about things. So
Twitter's a weird thing. Did I tell you Dennis Dyack follows me?
yeah, yeah,
I don't follow him
right,
at all.
yeah.
And here we are. Like the one thing I'll say is like I said nice things about Too Human, and so he probably is like, someone actually liked that game? Okay, I'm gonna follow him.
I'm gonna see where this guy is going. He has potential.
Yeah.
That's our market right there.
The game was so bad, but I loved it so much.
That's fair. That's fair.
So
Hmm.
yeah, so it was cool. I'm excited to see. You know, the best thing about the end of the year is we get kind of these mini E3s with PSX
Yep.
and Game Awards. So I'm excited to see what's gonna happen at PSX. Hopefully that Marvel vs. Capcom rumor is true because
Yep.
I love that series so much. That and Soul Calibur are my fighting games.
How do you feel about the change to the Marvel roster though?
I mean, it sucks, but whatever.
Sure.
Like as long as the game is good, I don't care.
People are just
And
mad because they can't play as Wolverine. That's all it is.
I know it. People want to play Wolverine and they want to play Magneto, and those are iconic characters. They're
Sure.
important characters. I get it. I just don't care enough. Like
Blame
I'm
Fox.
just not hardcore enough fan to care. So
Yeah. I mean, we'll get some other cool. We'll get Doctor Strange.
yeah, and Ant-Man hopefully.
Yeah.
How cool would Ant-Man be as a
Right.
fighter?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Falcon.
Yes. What else can we get? Spider. Well, I wonder if Spider-Man would be able to do that.
If it's Sony, Sony will get on it.
Oh yeah, Durr. Yeah.
That'll be a PS4 exclusive.
Ooh. Oh, no. Would they really do that again?
Absolutely, they would.
So I think it would be smart to have Spider-Man only be on the PS4,
Sure.
and then everything else on Xbox.
Yeah, absolutely. You can have
I think that's
one
what they should
exclusive
do.
character.
Because freaking Street Fighter V is a disaster, and I'm sure Sony is pissed that they made that
Yep.
deal because it's not selling well, and people are not
Fight
playing
game
it.
of 2016.
What's that?
The fighting game of 2016.
Oh god, so stupid. I couldn't believe that. I was like, oh cool, broken mess of a game
Yeah, well.
is got best fighting game. I don't even understand. It's probably because like the people that voted like I don't even know what else came out
Sure.
except for Street Fighter, so Street Fighter wins.
It's the only one that has had any headlines. So
Ugh.
that's okay. Next year we get Injustice and maybe Marvel versus Capcom.
I'm gonna derail you for a second.
Hmm.
Have you caught a Ditto yet?
I keep trying.
Okay. I'm like out of Pokeballs. Like I have to go to Pokestops now because I keep trying to catch them.
So you haven't either?
I did get to level 20 though.
Ooh, all right.
Yeah. For the best mobile and handheld game and best family game,
Mhm.
I got to level 20. So
I agree. Well,
and
congratulations.
yeah, they're supposed to be updating the next gen
That's the rumor.
supposedly either at the end of the year or in a couple weeks or early next year. So it'll be cool.
Or just in the middle of the night one night,
Yeah, that's probably how it happens.
just because.
That's how mobile games go.
Yeah. One more thing I want to talk about this episode because it's
Okay.
our etc. episode, and
Hmm.
when else are we going to talk about something like this, Colin?
I don't know what is it.
Down in Anaheim,
Hmm?
on our final night there, we did an escape room.
Oh.
Yes. We were going to do a Harry Potter one.
What? They have Harry Potter themed ones?
This particular place did. However, the next opening was like at 11 o'clock, and that was a bit late.
Mhm.
Also, I was kind of nervous that there would be things in there that I would be unfamiliar with and or be spoilery.
I see.
So that was disconcerting. So we did the other one that was available, which was the Phantom Soldier. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Think about a very loose Metal Gear plot with submarines,
Okay.
minus the Metal Gear, but plus the weird government espionage stuff.
Okay.
It was fun, man. It was my first one we've ever done.
Did you guys solve the puzzle or escape or whatever it's called?
Okay, so Val and I didn't really. Val and I have never done it before.
Yeah.
They had, and so we didn't really know what to expect. We're just like, okay, we'll follow your lead. And I knew what escape rooms were a little bit more than Val, but how like they actually worked once you were inside was still kind of foreign to me. So you have to lock everything up in a locker before you go in. No phones, no nothings, no electronics. And you go into the room, you follow the guy, and he takes you in there, and he's like, okay, he gives you the whole outline of the story that you're role playing. Okay. And it's a couple minute description of like what's going on and what you have to eventually do to escape, to win the game.
Mm-hmm.
This particular one, the story was about this one phantom soldier. You don't know who it is, but you've intercepted some radio transmissions. There is this underground group of rogue soldiers that have been in communication with the phantom soldier. You are currently on a submarine trying to track the phantom soldier down, find his whereabouts, and blow up his ship with a missile from your sub. That is the goal. So he kind of gives you some role playing story bits, which is kind of fun because it starts feeling like a little D&D session. You know, like you have to start getting into it a little bit.
Right.
He's kind of in character, and then he's like, okay, the only thing I'm going to tell you is where to start, where to start looking, because you're in this room and it's decked out like the inside of a submarine. So there's like the down periscope thing in the middle. There's all these switchboards that have different lights and buttons and everything. There's a desk. Like the walls on the inside look like inside of a submarine. I don't know if you've ever been like in the submarine, like at OMSI or anything like that. But like structurally, it looks like you're in the hull of a submarine.
That's cool.
Yeah. And he's like, he tells you right up front, you don't need to mess with any outlets. You don't need to plug anything in. Please don't like try to tear apart any furniture. Anything that you need, but anything that you need to move can be lifted with 2 fingers. So you're like, okay, I don't need to dig my way out of this room or punch a hole in the wall or anything like that. Like within reason, because some of them, from what I understand, are like fully destructible rooms. You know, like you have to like rip panel boards off, and so he's very clear about, hey, don't do this stuff, don't ruin our room, you know, which is cool. I appreciate that. So he's like, what you should probably look at is this board right here with these 4 soldiers and that notebook on the desk. That's where you should start. Ready, go. And then he goes and closes the door behind him. And then that's it. So going into the room, you have the opportunity to earn hints. You're given 1 free hint before you start. You can acquire more hints to have in your back pocket if need be, by going on various social media outlets for them, and like their page on Facebook or follow them on Twitter. Each time you interact with them on a different social media platform, you get an additional hint to use. So
That's funny.
it's funny. It's creative way to like get marketing out there, you know?
Right. Uh-huh.
So like we walked into the room with like 14 hints to use if need be, because we're just like, okay, we'll like your page and like do all this stuff, because it takes like 2 minutes, you know, pull up Instagram, follow on Instagram, pull up Twitter, follow them on Twitter, check in here at Facebook, like just really simple stuff, which works great for them marketing wise, and it's not too intrusive. It's not like you're paying money for hints or anything like that, you know. So we went in with like 14 hints in our pocket to use if need be. And to get a hint, all you have to do is pick up the walkie-talkie and radio in and say, "We are stuck, we need a hint." And within like seconds, he'll come running in and he'll say, "Okay, where are you at with the puzzle? What are you stuck on?" So you like show him what you figured out, and he's like, "Okay, you should probably look at this next thing over here, or you should do this. If you figured out this, you should use this, possibly somewhere over here." So he doesn't directly tell you, but he kind of pushes you in the right direction each time. Before he went out of the room the first time, he hit the timer button to start the clock at 60 minutes. So you have 60 minutes to do the whole thing. And the whole point of that is outside, if you finish, you get like a photo on the photo wall, and you get to write your time, and on the board when you come in, it keeps track of like how many different groups succeeded with only 2 or fewer hints, and etc. and so forth. So you can kind of like size up what you accomplish with other people that have done it before, which is fun.
Mm-hmm.
So like as soon as that clock started and he closed the door, man, it was furious, Fast and the Furious. Like it was all of a sudden, like you know the basic story, you know kind of what you're looking for, but you don't know how things work. So it's just like this. Imagine if you were just thrown into a room like, you played The Witness,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Yep. Should have got Game of the Year.
Well, debatable. You don't really know what you're doing in Witness when you start it, right? You just start figuring out. Things just start clicking and falling into place.
Yep.
That's exactly how this room was, but in real life. So it's just like you find a box and you find a locked drawer, and you're like, well, I can't get into that locked drawer, so we probably need to find a key somewhere. And then you find like a toolbox, and the toolbox has a combo on it, and you could hear the key inside. So you're like, crap, now we need to find the combo. Where are we going to get the combo? Well, let's look through this book. Let's match up things with these different soldiers that we see on this board. Like, it was the most craziest thing ever. And then like halfway through, we got in touch with the Phantom soldier. We ended up shooting a missile, blew up his ship, and he's like, yeah, I'm not on that ship. Like he radioed us. He's like, yeah, about that. Not even there. Sorry. See you later, suckers. And then from there, it's like, oh crap, what do we do now? Like, we didn't win because the clock's still going, but we blew up the ship. I thought that was the goal. Turns out, like, then we had to get off the sub because our sub was like self-destructing. So we needed to get out, and we needed to figure out how to open this secret back door that we didn't even see. We ended up doing it in like 37 minutes with 3 hints, I think.
And how long did you get? Is it an hour?
60 minutes, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So we were moving fast, but man, those rooms get hot quickly.
Sure.
With
I think
4
you're
people
stuck in
running
there.
around and like frantically doing stuff and trying to figure puzzles out, and one person's over here doing this and the other person's working on this combo over here. It was so insane, but so fun, man. Loved it.
Yeah, I really want to do the Zelda one.
Yeah, Brett said they sold out like within minutes.
Yeah, there's one in Seattle, so when they do more shows, I was thinking about going up there. But I imagine since they're so successful, they'll probably move on to other cities, and they've done escape rooms in Portland already, so
Right.
I hope that they'll expand to Portland. So
Yeah. Well, the Zelda one sounds a little bit different though, from what I hear.
yeah, I hear it's a lot more intricate, and they purposely don't want you to win. They want you to come back and do
Well,
it
it's
again.
also like a big giant room, and your group is sitting at a table with, and like there's like 80 different tables in the room. So you're in like this one giant like auditorium with all these different groups, and all the puzzles are just there at the table that you're assigned to. So it's a lot
Hmm.
less escapey and more so puzzles placed right in front of you that you're trying to figure out.
I guess I had to do a little bit more research then,
Yeah,
because that doesn't
that's how
sound.
Brett was describing it to us.
Yeah,
Those
that doesn't
those
sound
are a
super
thing, and
exciting.
that's kind of the route that the Zelda one went. It was less escaping, less moving around, and more focused on like very intricate puzzles.
Gotcha.
Yeah,
Hmm.
but
Interesting.
looking at other ones that they had, no, I was looking at ones in Portland, and this one place that does it in Portland. They have several different options, several different themes, right? Some of them sound pretty generic. There was one though that I saw that I looked at Val and was like, "We need to do this," and she gave me the big hell no. It's called "Trapped in a Room with a Zombie."
Yeah, I saw that one too.
Yeah, there's a zombie chained in the room to a
Right.
wall, and
Mm-hmm.
every 10 minutes, the chain gets another foot longer.
Mm-hmm.
And you have to get out of the room before the zombie eats you. Um, which you know that there's going to be some sort of puzzles on the wall where the zombie is. So that's frightening.
Yeah, man, I think you might have to go by yourself.
Yeah. I don't think that's possible. But man, that would be just terrifying, wouldn't it?
I think it'd be even scarier by yourself. Like,
Yeah.
you don't have anyone else to solve the puzzles, and the zombie's like about to break free. Ugh.
Right.
Ugh.
Yeah.
Ugh.
But yeah, there's some other good ones. But yeah, I fell in love with the concept. I get it, and it was a lot of fun.
Yeah, man, I want to try one. I've heard nothing but good things about. I don't think I've heard anything bad about any escape room. So
No, no, they're just growing. They're as the genre gets bigger, they're gonna get better. Once competition starts popping up in cities, it's gonna force the people running the escape rooms to be more creative and come up with different ones. And
yeah, it's a new way to play a game, basically,
yeah,
which
and
is really
like
cool.
with friends, like it's a interactive live game night with your friends instead
Yeah.
of people coming over and playing a board game. You're going out and doing this. So
Yep.
um, I highly recommend it to everybody out there. If you haven't tried one, if you do have one in your city or somewhere near you, get a couple friends and check it out for sure. So
Yeah. Also check out like Groupons and Living Socials. I found them on there quite frequently
yeah,
for various escape rooms. Save you some money.
definitely. So that's all I gotta talk about this week, man.
Yeah, man.
We have I'm starting to put together a little tentative calendar of games that we need to talk about because there's tons of games out, tons of games that we're playing and enjoying, and
Yeah.
it's next week. It's gonna be the week of Nintendo. That's gonna be fun.
Yes.
Have a couple different options for that. Um, Xbox and PlayStation. We should be pretty good for a while, as always. And then definitely have something planned for our next etc. episode.
Oh yeah.
So stay tuned. Oh, we have an email.
Oh,
Holy cow! Totally
what
forgot.
are you doing?
Ah,
Oh
sitting
man.
here
At
thinking.
least you remembered it.
Yeah, I remembered it at the beginning of the show. Then we started talking, and you know how that goes. This email is from Pizza Guy.
Oh,
Hi, Pizza Guy.
what the heck?
He says, "Hey guys,
It's good to know that you're not dead, buddy.
I just wanted to write in to inform you that there is definitely Bigfoot, big feet, Bigfoots, Sasquatches in the Undead Nightmare DLC for Red Dead Redemption. There is an entire quest for them. Keep up the good work." So, when we had Matt on, we talked about that stupid cowboy game that everybody likes.
Whoa. Hold your horses there, buddy.
I'm kidding. We talked about Red Dead Redemption, and we brought up the Undead Nightmare. I was asking about a Bigfoot in there because you guys were talking about mythical creatures and such, and you two could not remember for sure, apparently. So,
I never played Red Dead, or I never played the Undead Nightmare.
No, maybe that was it. Yeah, maybe you guys hadn't played it. So, regardless, that's a very intriguing pizza guy. Might have to look into it now.
He's got your back.
He knows. He knows what's up. So now I say we could probably call a show. Next week, Nintendo. Man, we're a couple months away from the Switch, aren't we?
Holy crap! It's so exciting. So
that
exciting.
Came up fast.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because I mean,
a month away from the announcement or the reveal.
In about a month, I'm gonna take that day off because I feel like they're gonna do like a Nintendo Treehouse stream for hours.
That'd be cool.
I want everything. I want everything. I want it all with the Nintendo Switch.
Me too.
We'll see. Then.
Colin, where can people find you at?
On Twitter, I'm at PDX_geek.
Sure.
Yep.
That's it, huh?
That's all I got right now.
You don't want to give out your AIM chat name?
Let's see. What is my AIM chat name? I don't even remember what it is. I'm sure it still exists, right?
Oh.
They don't delete that stuff.
I don't think so.
Yeah.
Unless he sold it to big business.
Oh, maybe, yeah. No, they can have it. It's all right. Check me out on MySpace. You can check me out on Flickster. You can check me out on what else is popular these days?
The Snapchats.
I think I am on Snapchat.
Yeah. Do you have your do you do a daily story?
I know. My life is my daily story.
Vine.
Well, Vine's like gone, isn't it?
I don't know. Like they said they was going to be gone, but then it seemed for like days people were still sharing Vine. So I was like, I thought this was done.
I'm not gonna lie. I really like Vine. I think it's really funny.
How often did you go on Vine?
Whenever I got bored and it was around like a bunch of people, I was like, oh, check out this funny video.
I don't believe you.
Well, I did. I think I'm on Instagram. I'm on all of them. You know what?
You are.
Just you can find me. I'm everywhere.
You are. Or Best Buy on Thanksgiving, even though you said you're not going to be.
Hopefully this is last year.
Yeah, you said that last year.
I keep telling myself. 5 years later, I'm like, it's totally the last year.
Won't believe it. Ever. You can find me on Twitter at The Noise with a Y. Be sure to follow the show on Twitter at Joys of Games. You could email us just like our friend Pizza Guy did, joysofgames@gmail.com. Everything we do is over at the website, toysforgames.com. And if you'd like to support us, you could do so on Patreon, patreon.com/toysforgames. Colin will be back next Thursday for episode 41.
Excellent.
Until then, I hope everybody is relaxing from their Thanksgiving hangovers and playing those games that you got on Black Friday / discount prices. Boom, 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 boom.
So many deals.
Especially the handwritten ones.
Yeah.
You're getting real deals then.
Those are the best deals.
Have a good week, play some games, and enjoy them. Good night.
Good night.